Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about business that used to sit in the background of sports culture, but now has moved directly into the center of the fan experience sports betting. On the surface, it looks like harmless entertainment, a way to make the game more exciting, a small wager between fans. But underneath that surface is a much larger and sinister system. Modern sports betting is not just about predicting who wins, it's about monetizing attention, uncertainty, and emotion at scale. This presentation asks a deeper question. Is sport betting simply a fan activity, or has it become a hidden engagement machine that is starting to pressure the very sport it depends on? Most people still think about sports betting in older terms. They think of someone picking on a team, laying money down on a game, and either winning or losing at the end. It feels like an add on to sports rather than the central part of sports business itself. Some people even see it as normal because gambling has always existed around sports in one form or another. But that view misses how much this model has changed. This is no longer just background wagering, it is now woven directly into apps, media, commentary, and the minute by minute experience of watching the game. What is really going on is that sports betting platforms are not just taking wagers, they are engineering repeat engagement. The bet is the visible transaction, but the hidden business is keeping the user active. The platform wants the fan checking odds, reacting to line movement, betting live, adding props, depositing again and again, and staying mostly tied to the app throughout the event. So the game becomes more than just a sporting contest. It becomes a series of monetizable moments. This is the business shift we have to understand. This model works spectacularly because sports already commands intense emotional loyalty. Fans were already going to watch, they were already going to care. Betting companies simply attach money to that attention and make the emotional experience more financially charged. Once that happens, every possession, every quarter, every injury report, and every player statistic can be part of the wagering system. The platform does not have to create the audience from nothing. The sport already did that. The betting platform simply converts that audience into recurring risk and repeat behavior. This is where the modern business gets sharper. Sports betting used to focus mainly on outcomes who wins, who covers, what the final score is. But now the platform can offer player prompts, micro bets, and live bets that break the game into dozens of smaller events. That means one game can generate many separate wagers rather than one simple bet. And as the bets become more granular and fine tuned, the pressure shifts. It is no longer just about the team, it can be about one player points, one rebound total, one injury update, or one specific statistic. That makes the model more engaging for the bettor, but more dangerous for the wider sports environment. This is where the human cost starts to become visible. When betting focuses on specific player outcomes, the athlete can become the emotional target of lost money, frustration, anger, abuse, or just plain maliciousness. The bettor may think they are just wagering on a number, but the athlete may receive the backlash when that number is missed. And when inside information, injury news, or private team knowledge start to matter more than the betting ecosystem, the integrity risk grows even further. So this is not just about fans and apps anymore. It becomes a pressure system that reaches into the lives of players, teams, and insiders. The betting cycle usually begins with attention. A fan opens the app before the game. Then comes the first wager, often encouraged by promotion, boosted odds, or a familiar team. Once the event starts, the platform keeps feeding the bettor more chances to stay involved. Live bets, prompts, same game parlays, stat markets, and instant reentry after a win or loss. This is what makes the system powerful. The business is not built on one wager, it is built on keeping the bettor inside a loop of action, reaction, and renewed risk. The ideal customer for the platform is not that one time winner, it is the repeat participant. The business model canvas formalizes the structure underneath all this excitement. The customer segments include casual bettors, repeat bettors, sports fans, and app based users. The value proposition looks like entertainment, convenience, and a chance to win money. But the hidden value proposition for the platform is much deeper: sustained user engagement and repeat activity. The channels are your apps, your media, promotions, partnerships, and notifications. Revenue comes from volume, hold, and repeat wagering behavior. The key activity includes odds settings, promotions, risk balancing, deposit and withdrawals, user retention, and market expansion. The key resource is not just the app or the odds boards, it is the attention of fans during live sporting events. Your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis shows why the model is both powerful and unstable. Its strengths are obvious. Sports already have audiences, mobile apps make participation easy, and the emotional hook is incredibly strong. But the weaknesses are serious too. The system depends on repeated losses somewhere in the user base. It creates addiction and debt concerns, and it draws scrutiny when fans or athletes are harmed by the culture around it. The opportunities are vast. More markets, more live betting, more integration with sports content. But the threats are just as large: insider information abuse, athlete harassment, integrity scandals, legal pressures, and public backlash when people start to realize the social cost of what looks like harmless entertainment. The big takeaway is that sports betting has evolved into much more than gambling on winners and losers. It is digital engagement business that converts fan attention, uncertainty, and repeated emotional risk into platform revenue. This is what makes it such a revealing hidden business model. The visible product is the bet. The hidden business is keeping the bettor active. And the deepest concern is this: if the platform keeps growing by turning every moment of the game into a monetized risk, what eventually happens to the athletes, the fans, and the integrity of the game itself? Thank you.